everybody. Today I will be showing you how to upgrade the running lights and turn signals on the Miata to switchback LEDs, which are brighter and they look a lot better than the normal amber lights. So let's get to it. So I've already done this side over here. So you can see that when it's on the running light mode, it's your normal headlight color, LED white. This is the stock one over here, amber running color. So you can see that it's a lot brighter than the stock one, and it is white LED for the running lights, and then amber flashing turns when it's on the turn signal. And it looks pretty good. So now let's get started with the whole process. First we're going to get a Phillips head screwdriver, and there's these two Phillips head screws or bolts on the housing. And remove it. To disconnect the connector, just twist it and pull it out. Now we're going to remove this part of the wiring harness so we can easily work on it. To do so, raise the headlights, and there is a connector right here. And this connector, to remove this one in the back, it's kind of tricky. You don't pull it up or disconnect it. First you have to slide it out towards the car. It's a little tricky. And you have to still disconnect this connector, so just push down on this tab and pull it out, maybe. There we go. So something I didn't show earlier that I wanted to explain why you need a resistor in the first place is because when you install the LED bulb and there's no resistor, you get a hyperflash, which is when the bulb flashes really quickly. So I'm going to show that right now. First we need to put the LED bulb on, and to remove the old bulb you just press down and you twist it to the side. It pops right out, and the LED bulb goes in the same way. One thing is that it can only go in one way, so if you push it in and try and twist it and it doesn't go, that means it's in the wrong way. Just rotate it around so that the nub is facing the other side. Push down, twist. Now we're in. And you can see that it flashes too quickly when there's no resistor. So that's why we need to put the resistor in. So now that we have it removed, we can get to the fun and the interesting part. We're going to put this resistor and we're going to splice it into these couple wires here, and then we're going to install the LED light. So for the wires here, the black is the ground, the red is the running light, and the green is the turn signal. We're not going to do anything to the red wire. We're going to connect these resistors, or not resistors, but connectors, I guess, that you use to splice into these wires. They come with the resistor from super bright LEDs, and it's actually really interesting how they work, and it would help to understand them, so I'm going to explain them real quick. Basically what they do is they don't require any cutting of the wires, so you literally pop this side off and you slide it around the wire that you want to connect the resistor to, and then you close it back. You put one end of the resistor into this side The other side is blocked off, so there's literally only one connection point for the wire coming from the resistor. And then this metal part cinches down over the wire when you pop this closed. So it creates the connection between the wire running from the wiring harness and then the wire coming from the resistor. So it's pretty awesome design, I think, and it requires no cutting of any wire, which makes this super easy install. Also, one other thing on these splicing devices is don't push the metal thing in the middle down, because it is a pain to pull it back up. I did that on the other side, so don't do it. So what we're going to do is put one of these on the black and the green wire, and then connect the resistor across them. You can pull these little things off the tip. And so we're going to put resistor across, and it's going to create this nice little circuit. So, like I explained before, pop the side part down and just slide. Be sure that it's facing the right way that you want it to with the resistor wire. So I'm going to have it facing this way, away from the light, towards the inside of the car. And then you just slide it around the wire, push it down into the dielectric grease, and pop the side back closed. You slide this end all the way in and push it all the way to the end of the splicing device. It is good to have some pliers to close this down on. So now that that's in, just press it down. And snap it shut. And one side is done there. This isn't a super tight connection here on the resistor side wire, so don't pull it out because you'll probably be able to, but it is good enough to stay secured. So repeat the same thing for the green wire. Again, be sure that the resistor wire side is facing towards the engine bay. And so now we have put the resistor in. Now we're going to reinstall it back on the car. I got some hardware from Home Depot for mounting the resistor to the frame. I got a couple items over here in the hardware aisle. I'll put the numbers in the video description. But I got some fender washers, these bolts, and then they didn't have individual packages of the specific nut size to match this bolt, so I had to get this whole pack. And when you get the hardware from the hardware store, be sure you get stainless, because it's going to be weatherproof, and I think the other options are zinc and bronze and something else, but you definitely want to get stainless. Okay, so when we come over for the reinstall, this is the hole right there to mount the resistor to. And we're gonna install it kind of like that right there. and put the fender washer and nut on the back. Alright, so we had some bad news, and the resistor wire slipped out from the side, like I explained hopefully when it happened earlier. So I'll show you how you can put it back in. It's kind of a pain. You need to pop the splicer thing open. What I did was just hold it with my fingers and get a flathead screwdriver and press the clip down off. And that opens it back up. And to get you have to pull the little metal thing back out. I have these little wire clipper things that I'll try and get it out with. So you kind of have to dig it out. There we go. And then just put it back in. Okay, and yeah, I only put the one mount in because there's not really a convenient spot for two unless you start drilling holes, which I didn't want to deal with. Now it is mounted on the metal frame, and you don't want to mount it on anything plastic or where it's going to potentially melt something else. So dropped my nut. So now that the resistor's mounted and the wires are all good, we can reconnect everything, get your headlight housing, and reinstall the bulb mount the opposite way of it, the way you took it out. So just put it back in and then twist it till it clicks. And we need to reconnect the connector back here. There's only one way it can go back on. Where this little slit is where the housing, you probably can't see too well, but there's a raised kind of slit. So there's only one way you can actually reconnect it, and then of course you need to slide it back on the mount. Now that that's done, let's turn it on and see if it works. Alright, well, that's going to be it. I hope that this video was helpful. I hope that you don't have as much trouble as I did with those resistor wires coming out.